All right, guys, today we are painting our background for our Halloween project. We're gonna be using analogous colors for our background, and those are colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So we're using our neon paints for these because these can glow under a black light. So when you're using your neon paints, you can find them on the color wheel and find out which ones are analogous. So analogous colors, like I just said, are colors next to each other on the color wheel. So for example, pink is analogous to red. Red is analogous to orange, and so on and so forth. So when you're painting, you always want to make sure that the colors that you choose that are touching are analogous to each other. So if I start with pink at the top of my paper, so I'm gonna paint a pink stripe, and I'm gonna go all the way to the edges. Okay, so then I need to choose a color that is next to pink for my next color. So I could go to red, or I could go to purple. So I don't have purple on my paint palette, so I could either make purple on my tray by mixing pink and blue, or I could use the next analogous color, which would be red. So always before we switch colors, we clean our brush. Okay, and then I'm gonna do red for mine. So when you do your next color, you're gonna paint it right next to that one you just painted, and then after that we're gonna blend it together in the middle. Okay, so after you have two colors next to each other, then you're gonna blend those two colors with your paintbrush. So now I'm gonna get my brush clean, and I'm gonna leave it a little bit wet, and I'm going to paint water in between those colors. I'm gonna paint up and down between the pink and the red until they blend together. And we call this creating a gradient of colors. And this will work best if your paintbrush is wet. So if it stops blending for some reason, then go back and get your paintbrush a little bit wet and then paint up and down between those two colors. So now I have a gradient of pink and red. So then I'm gonna go back to my color wheel and I can choose another analogous color. So this time I can either do orange, or I can go backwards and do pink again. So for mine, I'm gonna do orange because I have orange on my tray. So I've got two colors. Now I need to blend my two colors. So clean brush with water, paint up and down, all the way across. All right, so back to my color wheel. Next, I can either go to yellow, or I can go backwards to red. Okay, so this time I've gotten to yellow, so I could either keep going to green and then blue, or you could go backwards. So I think I want to keep mine hot colors like this, so I'm going to go backwards to orange from yellow. So remember, when you are painting your gradient, you don't have to start with the same colors as mine. You don't have to start with pink at the top or red. You can start with any color and then go analogous from that. So for example, if I had started with blue, then I could either do green or I could do purple for my analogous color, since I don't have a dark blue on my plate. All right, guys, so there is our gradient painting with analogous colors. So when you're finished with your painting today, you can put it on the drying rack and clean up your area.